folks, and welcome back to the Coach's Den, the Lion's Den. Quentin, I know you just told me the name, but I mess it up every time. But it's the Den regardless, and Lions sleep here 1 hour of the day because the rest we're working out and taking care of business. First of all, before we get started, I want to say thanks to West Texas Rehab, Tom Torp Transports, Ozona Bank, Bunger Real Estate, and the First Baptist Church of Ozona. Coach, we got a guest today.
Yes, sir. This is Coach Samuel L. Ruiz. He's our wide receivers coach.
Okay, well, since we got the wide receiver here, we are going to start the morning with some highlights from Friday night's game against the Yellow Jackets. Rigo Treto with a 3-yard touchdown run right here. That's when, was that the first touchdown of the game, I guess?
That was the first touchdown.
Charles Childress, 41-yard touchdown pass to Lane Smith, and this was beautiful right here. It was one of your receivers.
Fourth down play, 4th and 9, and we took a shot, and it was very successful. Lane was able to get underneath it, make a good catch, and finish the play.
Dusty Smith, 28-yard touchdown pass to Lane Smith.
Another 4th down play. We took advantage of the coverage and made a quick play, and Lane just made a very good move in open space and made a sharp cut. Max was down the field trying to get some help in blocking, and just a great team effort right there by the offensive guys right there.
Broke a couple ankles on that play.
Yes, he did. Great athleticism there.
Fumble recovery. Defense once again taking care of business this week.
Yeah, the defense played lights out. You know, I know they're upset we gave up that touchdown, but on offense, but defense did a heck of a job flying around. They only gave up 39 yards of offense to Menard last week.
Matt De La Garza, 31-yard touchdown run.
DLG followed his blocks, made a good cut, and then he showed a great burst of speed as he turned around the corner, and he finishes the run hard. The way that DLG finishes all of his runs, he runs with a purpose and is very explosive, and he did a really good job of running there.
57-yard touchdown run by Rigo, the Shark.
Yeah, Rigo did a really Rigo ran the hard, made a good cut, got up the field. You'll see Max Everett coming in, and a lot of throughout the whole night, receivers are doing a great job blocking for our kids, for their ball carriers.
And another touchdown pass by Childress right here with
to Lane. It was they called an audible and made a great play, and
yes, Charles and Lane did that on their own.
Yeah.
But we had linemen downfield, shouldn't have counted, but it's all right. We'll accept it.
49-yard touchdown right here.
This is another one. If you take a look, there's receivers blocking down the field for us and making good reads and just executing the offense.
Then this was a good fumble right here.
Yeah, something we like here, you know, anytime there's the ball on the ground, we want to be able to scoop and score. They work it all the time, you know, almost every day. And so it's real big whenever we're able to, you know, it takes a lot of athleticism to scoop and score. That ball is kind of tricky.
These are your top 3 offensive players right there at the end. But, man, talking about that, Coach, that last fumble we watched right there on that highlight, just to see all those purple jerseys behind that football was awesome, because you knew all those guys were looking for that football at that moment.
I think something that's been really big on defense is just how many purple jerseys we get to the ball. You know, that's something that Coach Green preaches all the time. And that's something we say about, you know, your commitment, you know, to the team is reflected on each play about how close you are to the ball at the end of the play. You know, when we get all those guys there and then we have a big play, something that we've been preaching to is just celebrating. You know, celebrating with your teammates, celebrate success. That's huge.
I see one things I noticed this week was that, like you said, the blocking by receivers. It was great. Anytime they got outside, they could cut upfield, and I mean those receivers had the defenders pinned against the sidelines. I mean, there were no getting to them. And the other thing is the defense was blowing up the ball. There was times when defensive players were back there before they were handing off the ball. You know, there was one play, I can't remember if it was Rigo or Carlos. They were handing off the ball and they just blew up the whole play. I mean, that was it. And then, you know, the receivers, great catches, you know, all the way around. I seen Dusty throw, you know, a couple of touchdown passes. Charles throw a couple of touchdown passes, and there was a slant I thought y'all ran on there. Maybe it got called back. I can't remember. But it was a
2-point conversion.
2-point conversion. There you go. Yeah, it was a heck of a little inside slant right there, and Dusty fired it in there, and they caught it and was in. I thought it was a real good play.
And for weeks we've been talking about we're gonna hit that game where everybody does what they're supposed to do at one point at one game, and I think Friday night was the game, especially being homecoming, and after 3 losses, I think the boys were ready to.
I think, and something that they said too, the kids, everything just kind of came together Friday. In the last 3 games or the previous 3 games, may have a good offensive showing, but maybe not defense, or vice versa. Or maybe we kind of have some blunders on special teams, things like that. And this week we finally just, all 3 phases did a great job, excellent job.
And a great game because I know Quentin even wired up the refs. He wanted to show off that, and it seemed like we didn't have that many flags, so we didn't get to use the ref as much.
That was a big thing. Yeah, we were waiting for it, and I mean, I figured there'd be some kind of reaction. There was not many penalties at all.
I think we need to keep doing it because I think they're too pressured. They don't want to talk in front of everybody, so they don't want to throw those flags.
I feel the same way.
We'll keep it on them.
Charles was mad about one flag because his one play of burst of speed where he pulls it and runs up the field. He said my touchdown was taken away for a flag, but he wanted everybody to know he's fast on that play.
Well,
he did a good
we
job.
did talk about it. He was pretty fast. We saw a couple of turtles pass by. He didn't. So he showed his speed. No.
Yeah, you can call it that. It was there.
We were pretty upset that they didn't count that touchdown because we were pretty excited that he finally take it in.
Logan Fay wasn't upset because he scored the next play.
Yeah.
So replace 1 for 1.
And that was a good thing about taking a lead like that is some of those guys that got to take a chance at getting some action under the Friday night lights. It's always good, huh, Coach, to be able to do that.
I think it's important, throughout a season to be able to get some guys that they don't always get that playing time, to have a chance to get them in, because I think that just that experience and just, actual game reps makes such a difference for them for the next year.
Yes, sir.
So it was really important.
Another thing on the defensive side, I'd seen the defenders, even when they had the ball, swatting it out of their hands. Like, it was either they were on them, but the moment that it hit their hands, they were swatting it out. Even, there's Matthew Daniels. There's a couple of times I've seen him where the defender was there, and right when you think he's going to catch it, just
Matthew's been doing an excellent job in the secondary for us. He's been doing a good job, but I think something that showed against Menard is just our overall team speed, and just how we're able just to attack them on both sides of the ball, and it's because of that speed that our kids are showing. And that's something we've been emphasizing since day one.
And I think our fans were excited homecoming, especially the people come out from out of town. We had a class of 1971. They were celebrating, so they were pretty excited they got to see a game like that. But now it's, we enjoyed the win, but now it's time to get ready for the next one. And who do we play next, Coach?
We've got the Brady Bulldogs coming to Ozona Friday night.
And I ask this every week just because it kind of gives me an idea of what kind of team we're playing. Is Brady a team that has some of the stuff we've already seen throughout the last 4 games, or some, like this week it was something total new because Coach Green said they play a little bit more old school football. What about Brady? Do they have speed? Do they have similar to either Sonora or some or?
I'll talk about their offense and I'll let Coach Reese talk about their defense. But offensively, they do a lot of things that are similar to some other teams that we've seen. I would probably compare them most to Wink and Sonora as far as what they do offensively. They're in spread formations, but they're trying to run the ball most of the time. They've got a really good tailback, big, strong kid that he hurt us last year. He scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game. We got down 14-0 real quick, and I think he was just a sophomore, and so he's a junior now, and he's plenty good. So they have a pretty good offense. They're going to be bigger. They're a 3A school and they were a lot bigger than us last year. It doesn't scare us any, but they will be bigger than us.
That's one thing we talked about last year was we think y'all wore them down. Because in the second half, I mean, was it 14-12 at halftime last
I
time?
think it was 14-12 at
And then
halftime.
we came back and ended up winning, and I think we wore them down because you could tell, especially in the fourth quarter, our guys were, I mean, just stopping everything. And that's what I noticed last year. They were bigger, but I feel like we just wore on them, and eventually, just stopping them.
And defensively, they're going to be they're just as big. They're a 3A school, but they still have some guys playing two ways, both sides of the ball. So they're going to have some of the same characters on offense. On the defensive side, number 7, he plays in the secondary for them, and he's big. They've got other guys. They've got small guys. They got short guys. They got a 6'6" defensive end. He's a big old kid, and they've got follow that guy with the 5'4" linebacker. So you got 6'6" and 5'4" right next to each other. But they're going to be physical. They come off the ball pretty well, and they play aggressively. And so we've got to be able to reset the line of scrimmage and move the line of scrimmage back and be able to do what we do. Everybody knows what we like to do. They know what we like to do. And I think if we trust in the game plan that we have and follow up with what we put together and stick to what we do, and we'll do it well. We should be able to do what we want.
We know our linebackers are lights out. Defensive side. They get after it on the run. They're really good, and our secondary's got great, a lot better. You can tell by the coverage in the last couple of games. They've gotten great at it. And then I feel like our offenses came together. I feel like there's more plays and stuff. We won't say it on here that I've seen you've ran and stuff that we haven't seen before, and things work out for the best.
And we always say this too, everything starts with the O-line and D-line. So, offensively, if the O-line are blocking, they're doing a good job, we're going to have a good night. Or we have a chance for a good night at least. And the same with the D-line. If they're attacking, they're taking up linemen, and linebackers are free to roam, it can be a good night for us.
That's what me and Coach Green talked about last week. I feel like the offensive line and the defensive line set the tone.
Oh, definitely.
Like when you get a huge run, they make a big hole. I mean, it sets the tone for the offense right there. You're excited, or your quarterback has all day to throw and he finds a good receiver. It's or defense, they get back there. Everybody's going crazy. I think that on both sides they set the tone to get the game going.
Right. I think they don't really get the credit they deserve until they're in the NFL. But they're very important, very important.
And I think we saw it in the highlights of just how much everybody's an important piece of the team, just because all those touchdowns weren't that easy. I mean, there was a lot of good blocking by their teammates to get them into the end zone. And you could see it in some of the highlights. And that's one thing that sticks out to me. I thought that was pretty neat that, they were out there as a team and running down that field and blocking and opening up those gaps for the runners. So we're excited. I think the fans are real excited after what they got to see Friday night. The thing with fans is they get spoiled and they're going to want to see it again. So we're going to have to give it to them again, Coach. So
we'd like to as well.
You get a lot of syrup everywhere.
And I don't know if y'all know this. Coach Knippa came on here and said, but we've been bringing the syrup out.
Yes,
we did see it. We talked about it. And we did see it.
Asked me,
and
what was the deal? They didn't understand what a pancake was.
Yeah, so
we do. I do have some good news for you. Toro Local's coming up in a few weeks, and I got 2 dancers that want to come out and dance with Coach. Hopefully he knows how to two-step. But
this is a good time for this. The 2 dancers that Ruben is bringing to El Toro Loco. Here's your chance. Cleve Knippa, 806-475-8050. He likes to talk, not text, just so you know.
And please, Coach Knippa, practice your two-stepping and your cumbias.
He's been working on his Spanish since he came to Ozona, so.
Well, one of them's a blonde from Vegas, so hopefully she don't know Spanish. So, but the other one does. She's from Mexico. She can't go back because the bridge is closed, so she's ready to dance.
Can we get them on a bull?
Yes.
We have a bull actually that would be perfect for
Okay,
Coach.
there's no weight limit.
So no, he's
Okay.
this one's his name's the world famous Biscuit. He's ready to go.
That's
so
perfect.
that's perfect.
Biscuit for Coach Knippa.
So
With syrup.
yeah, bring the syrup. But we're pretty excited, and Coach Taylor, I just want to give you a message from everybody in Ozona that we're praying for you, and we're
Appreciate
thinking of
that.
you at 24/7. And
Ozona has been very great to my family. We really appreciate that.
we're ready for Friday night. Coach, you got anything?
Just continue to come out and support the kids. Appreciate it more than you know, and we appreciate it too. And I love the way the community gets together and supports one another, and comes out and supports the kids as well. It's an awesome thing to be around. So we really appreciate it.
Me and Ruben talk about we like seeing the games to see y'all's adjustments, because you always make really good adjustments. I feel like, even at halftime, something's going on in the first half. Me and Ruben talk about it all the time.
And I do have a story to share with y'all, coaches. The game that we came out with the 13 flags, man, that was so awesome because I got a text and there was 30 Marines in Hawaii watching the game, and man, they went crazy
Oh, that's awesome.
when they were watching that. So now they get together to watch the Lions. Last Friday, they all got together to watch the Lions, but then they had to fly back out. They call them to fly out Saturday to Afghanistan. So our prayers to the Lava Dogs, 1st Platoon in the Marine Corps in Hawaii. Thank you for watching, and thank you, coaches, for what y'all do. And it takes a coach to motivate these kids to do anything they do. So thank y'all so much for being great leaders to the kids, to the community, and go Lions. We'll see you Friday night, Lions Stadium. Let's do it again.